Доброго дня.
Good afternoon. The floor is given to Presidential Administration spokesman on ATO-related issues, Colonel Oleksandr Motuzyanyk. Good afternoon, dear journalists. Now the information about the events during the last 24 hours in ATO area and also about training in the territory of Ukraine. Lugansk area, comparing with the previous 24 hours, the intensity of fire delivered by the enemy decreased. The enemy didn't use heavy weapons, and also the attacks of the enemy lasted for about 10 minutes. The longest challenge was in Alexandrovka, that is in Popasna region. There, the enemy fired for 20 years, and they used automatic grenade launchers. Other areas are Stanica Luganska, Zhovte Slaveno-Serbsk region, and also village that is called Novozvanivka, that is near Popasna. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in Lugansk area, there were 5 enemy shellings. In Donetsk area, the situation remains difficult. The only calm area in this area was the Donetsk airport. And along the line of confrontation, the enemy actively uses mortars, launching 180 mines at our positions. And the most heavy attacks are during dark hours. The hottest area is Avdiivka production area. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Donetsk area, there were 24 enemy shellings, half of which with the use of mortars. Mariupol area, there were 2 regions of highest military intensity. This is Dokuchaevsk, Novotroitsk, Bogdanovka, Starognatovka, and also the region of Lebedynsky village, that is 4 kilometers from the Azov Sea coastline. And at first line, the enemy violated ceasefire right after midnight. Then the subversive group of the enemy, counting 4 people, attacked our positions near Nikolaevka. And due to rapid response, the attack was repelled. And 2 hours later, there was one more military clash in the region of Bogdanovka. And the weapons were identical, and this allowed our servicemen to efficiently counteract the threat, and they forced the enemy to retreat. And till early in the morning, the enemy launched 10 artillery shells and 7 large caliber mines. And also the enemy violated ceasefire in the evening in the same region and launched mortar shells near Novotroitsk, mortar mines near Novotroitsk. Also, according to the estimates of the general staff, the enemy near Lebedynsky village launched 100 shells of 122 millimeter of caliber. And after this, it was calm near the coastline, in the coastline area in Mariupol area. And also there were some armed provocations in Mariinka, Pavlopol, and Gnutova. So on the whole, in Mariupol area, there were 27 enemy shellings, including 9 with the use of heavy weapons and 2 military clashes, Nikolaevka and Bogdanovka. Also, the enemy delivered 2 reconnaissance flights with the use of air drones in Donetsk Oblast. During the last 24 hours, no Ukrainian serviceman was killed, but 3 were wounded. Losses of the enemy during the last 24 hours, 3 were killed and 7 were wounded. So the names of some of these militants: Mikhail Kolesnik, 1987, Vyacheslav Makarov, 1981, Vladimir Kiselev, 1973, and also Anton Savin. Chief Intelligence Department of MOD informs that because of heavy losses and because they are forced to take part in the military actions, the many militants desert and leave the ranks of illegal armed groups. And on the 11th and 12th of August, 8 militants left, and the Russian commanders tried to find these deserters, and during 8 till 12 of August, the Commission of Central Territorial Forces carried out some checks to identify and eliminate those militants who fled. Ukrainian law enforcement detained the member of Vostok group. A 32-year-old resident of Makiyivka joined the militants in spring 2014, and she served for money at the checkpoint in Donetsk, and she searched the cars to identify Ukrainian activists, but she wasn't paid. That's why she left the militants and tried to reach Mariupol. Ukrainian law enforcement detained her at one of the checkpoints. And we remind that on the whole, during the last week, law enforcement detained 6 militants and their proxies. And also, the SBU officers revealed cache of ammunition near Krymsky village. This cache was in the abandoned building at the bank of Seversk-Donetsk River. They confiscated 10 grenades of 1 RGD-5 and 100 cartridges to small arms. Training of new generation of officers continue. At Kharkiv National University of Armed Forces, named after Ivan Kozyzhub, they carry out training for graduates of 2016. During 2 weeks, they undergo practical training in firing ground. That is the part of their duty. They had some psychological training, also firing exercises, and also they were trained in how to destroy armored vehicles of the imaginary enemy. 1+1 channel the question: among those 7 militants who were wounded, are there Russian officers? I don't have such information. Some of them are those who came to Donetsk area to fight our servicemen. And do you have other questions? No, thank you.